Bienvenidos todos. Estamos en Caracas, Venezuela. It's a 2012 FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, day 2. We're going to be watching Group C action again to start off proceedings. Yesterday it was Russia beating Korea quite soundly. Today it'll be the Dominican Republic's turn to make their debut at this great event. And Korea, it's a must-win game for them if they want to stay alive in the competition. Everybody, I'm Jeff Taylor, and I'm joined by Liam Canny. And really, 2 blowouts in the early going. Korea were one of those, Liam, but we did end up seeing some quite outstanding action. First of all, the team that everybody has been talking about is the Dominican Republic. John Calipari, the coach, led the Kentucky Wildcats to the NCAA title this year. He doesn't have Charlie Villanueva, but he does have Al Horford. He does have Francisco Garcia. He does have Jack Michael Martinez. And he also has the exciting young talent, a 16-year-old Karl Towns. It's going to be interesting to see if Towns does play for the Dominicans. And first of all, also looking at Korea, we saw some good things out of Korea, but maybe the level of competition that they get to play against on a club level, it really hurts them against some of these real polished teams, the European teams especially.
Absolutely, Jeff, but we know from watching Korea yesterday, they're going to play hard. They're going to give you everything they can. They're active on defense. They cause a lot of turnovers with their hands. And sadly, their job is especially hard today as without their starting point guard, Dong Pyongyang, who hurt his wrist in a pre-tournament friendly against the Puerto Rican professional team.
Well, they made things uncomfortable for Russia, and I'm sure that the Dominicans scouted that game, and they will be aware that they do have not what they're used to. What we expect the Dominicans to come down the court quickly. They've got some power on that front line with Martinez. He's your prototypical 15-point, 15-rebound per game big man, and his job obviously is a lot easier because Al Horford is on the floor. Horford having missed the majority of this past NBA season with the Atlanta Hawks with that chest injury, and he's battled back. And I think the Dominicans, from what I've been reading and certainly looking at their personnel, have a real chance to take one of these 3 places at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament for the London Games.
I agree with you, Jeff. They're coming off the Central Basket Tournament, which they won, so they're tournament ready. What we're going to see with them today, as we saw with Russia yesterday, is they're going to throw the ball inside as much as they can. We saw Sasha Khan and Mozgov yesterday got a lot of touches inside in the paint for Russia, and I would expect that the Dominicans will be very similar in their approach in their half-court offenses.
Well, the Koreans finished 3rd at the FIBA Asia Championship last year behind China and Jordan. Dominicans also won their bronze medal game against Puerto Rico at the FIBA Americas Championship. We understand that we're going to have the playing of the national anthems now, so we'll stand and listen to both of these. And we're about 5 minutes and 40 seconds away from tip-off.
Himno nacional de la República de Corea. Now the anthem from Korea.
Well, you don't know how these games are going to go. And I don't think you see the referees from Slovenia, Argentina, and China. I don't think that people expected, certainly I didn't expect Angola to beat the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia yesterday. And I don't think too many people will be expecting Korea to beat the Dominican Republic. But you've got to play the game. You've got to play for 40 minutes. And really, I think in the international scope, probably the Koreans are used to these types of tournaments. I mean, they played in the Olympic qualifiers 4 years ago. They weren't successful, but they lost a couple of close games. Horford, Jack Michael Martinez, Ulis Baez, Juan Coronado Gil, and Francisco Garcia. The Americans watching will remember him from his Louisville days, as well as playing for Sacramento. Horford, obviously, one of the great players. Baez has played in Spain with Juventud Badalona and had a really strong season. The starting five for Korea: Oh, who is the MVP of the Korean League, Lee, Yang, Kim, and Kim again, Sun Young Kim. Taesol Kim's a crafty guard that he'll probably come up with about 5 or 6 steals today.
Yeah, Jeff, and I was impressed with the play of Seung-Jun Lee yesterday, who took the ball strong to the basket. Both teams have their backs to the wall in this game. As far as Korea are concerned, figuratively, their backs are to the wall. They need a win for a chance to advance, and literally, the Dominicans find themselves with their back to the wall because, Jeff, right behind the bench of the Dominicans is an ardent core of about 30 Dominican fans who just set off in a cappella rendition of the national anthem. So the Dominicans will certainly feel the pressure of their fans behind them, and they'll want to put together a good performance today for their faithful.
Well, this will be a game that I think the Dominicans will want to come out and win convincingly and set the tone for a successful Olympic qualifying tournament. The mission was to qualify outright for the Olympics last year, the FIBA Americas Championship, and Jack Michael Martinez and co. Did not accomplish that mission. They weren't happy with the bronze medal, and John Calipari, after, was really disappointed and wasn't sure if he was going to come back and coach the team. The players wanted him to come back, and ultimately the Dominican Federation and Calipari were able to get together and work out a deal for him to come back. And he's assisted, obviously, by Del Harris. Needs no introduction for his long time in the game and also his experience in the international game. I remember watching him coach China into the quarterfinals. Surprising appearance, really, of the 2004 Olympics.
I read an interview with Calipari in which he mentioned he feels like the international experience is making him a better coach. He's bringing back some aspects of the international game to the game in the U.S. So certainly he's enjoying the experience. We saw, Jeff, yesterday how efficient and professional the Greeks were in their approach to their opening round game. And we'll see if the Dominican Republic come out with that same mindset. Certainly they'd be heavy favorites in this game, but as you mentioned, you've got to play the games. And Korea won't back down. They'll give you everything they got. They'll give you every ounce of effort and energy. So it should be a good opening contest of day 2 here in the Poliedro.
Yeah, Calipari is trying to get the attention of his players. Talk about the game plan. Let's be aware of what Korea are going to do, but let's dictate the tempo. Let's go out and hit the ground running. I think the big difference with Korea and Jordan yesterday is that we felt that the effort just wasn't there for Jordan, whereas for Korea, they really never stopped. They played with a lot of pride, a lot of heart, and I think they'll be going into this game believing they can win it and resuscitate their chances of advancing.
Well, they'll certainly have to shoot well from the outside, won't they? The perimeter game will have to be on, and they'll have to score baskets from the outside. That's one thing that the Russians actually did in the second half, wasn't it? They really clamped down, used their length to get out and contest shooters, impose themselves physically on the smaller Korean guards. We'll see if the Dominicans take the same approach. Jeff, were you surprised at all with the hard line that Coach Calipari took with Charlie Villanueva, keeping him out of the squad because of his fitness?
Yeah, I was surprised purely just because of his name and how he's really raised the profile of the Dominican team the past few years. But on the other hand, if you're not fit enough, or if the chemistry, if that's an issue, you have to take these decisions as a coach. He and the Dominican Federation took that decision. So the Dominicans will start proceedings here, and inauspicious start, the air ball from Coronado.
Jeff, we saw the South Koreans double down in the low post. They did that against Russia as well. And it's going to be how the Dominicans can move the ball out of that trap to open up opportunities for themselves.
Well, you talked about Korea needing to hit some perimeter shots, and they get one immediately.
Zone defense here from the Koreans.
Jack Michael Martinez goes up, and that's where Horford is so good. He just cleans up the mess. He is going to get 15 to 20 rebounds a game, and already getting 1 rebound on the offensive glass.
Yeah, that'll be the story of certainly the first quarter, how the Dominicans will impose themselves on the backboards, and so the Koreans are really going to have to block out and make space for themselves to claim their defensive rebounds.
Horford gets the Dominicans on the board and makes both free throws. And Korea will now try to get the positive vibes going. Oh, and a little hesitation pump fake. Those Dominican guards are going to have to be, especially Gill's going to have to be ready. Oh, behind over the head pass. Jack Michael Martinez.
We saw Kirilenko throw a pass like that, didn't we, yesterday? Over the shoulder pass to Mozgov, who was a trailer, who finished with a flush.
Yeah, Calipari's not sure if he's upset with the pass, or maybe he wants Jack Michael Martinez to go right at the Koreans. So far, it's a promising start for Korea. And, talking about the psyche of these games, Angola, that was the advantage really they had against the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Angola played in a lot of big Olympics games, World Championships, and MKD had not. And it's sort of the same situation here. The Koreans have been in these big tournaments before, and the Dominicans, while they've played in the FIBA Americas Championships. It's another story.
The Koreans didn't send any white jerseys to the offensive glass. All 5 went straight back on defense.
The Dominicans are passing that ball inside. Martinez on the baseline, and Baez goes up for the rebound. And Korea come away with it. So a little bit of a shaky start for Calipari's team. And they give away the long rebound, and Calipari's seen enough. He's going to call a timeout. Well, you just see the athleticism of Horford is just quite frightening, isn't it, with that rebound?
Yeah, Kim missed an opportunity in transition, Jeff, to give the ball to O to finish, because he was wide open, but he didn't see him in the trailer spot. Seung-Jun Lee's got another knock in the mouth. He got one yesterday against the Russians, and I'd say he gives you everything, doesn't he?
Was, and Calipari was telling his players to cut to the basket, not stand around. Here's Garcia, gets into the lane, puts it up, and the soft touch.
Calipari must have changed his mind on that timeout, Jeff, because he certainly got up and signaled it.
Yeah, he did. There's Lee, and he hit the 3, but he misses down low.
That's positive play. He attacked the basket. He made a nice drop step move in the post.
Gill, free throw line distance, and again, gosh, Horford is just not able to, or sorry, that was Bias, not Horford, Bias. But Martinez comes in.
Yeah, Bias and Martinez did the damage, and Horford was spotted up on the three-point line.
it to Lee. Garcia on Lee. And Lee this time gets nothing but air.
Good check out and contest by Francisco Garcia. Got a hand up to the shooter.
Calipari shouting the instructions. The Dominicans look a little bit lost out there what to do offensively, but they don't download a bias.
The last 3 or 4 possessions now where they're getting touches to the post players.
Now here's O, and he goes right at Jack Michael Martinez.
Touch with that right-handed jump hook.
Horford kicks it outside to Baez, and Baez misses and does not follow the three-pointer.
So Korea hanging in early. We're almost midway through the first quarter, and they've played well.
Calipari is not a happy camper over there on the bench. The execution not there for the Dominicans right now. Good defense that time, and now Baez in the open floor. Hands it off to Garcia, gets it back, and then passes. And instead of going to the basket.
Yeah, Horford looked back with a quizzical look as if to say, what are you giving it to me for? Go attack the basket.
Now O tries to blow past Martinez and pretty much has his own way. So Martinez showing he's not really as fleet of foot. A couple of times down the floor. Horford, long jumper. Nope. And Martinez goes up and wins the battle for the ball. The foul is called on Korea.
It's another good move from O. Got a good look. He's got a nice soft touch. You mentioned he's the MVP of the Korean League. Jeff doesn't see that, but I'm surprised that the Koreans aren't moving the ball more, cycling it more, making the defense move, going deep in the shot clock. They seem to be content to get the ball into Lee or O, and they try to make one-on-one moves.
Well, right now the Dominicans aren't putting the pressure on him defensively. They're letting him get the ball in good positions. By Horford now. He whips it across to Garcia. And about 10 feet on the baseline. Nope. And O goes up for a good, impressive rebound. And very slow start for the Dominicans. They lead it. But for how long? Bounce pass to O, and he puts it up. Oh, what a shot from O.
Oh, that was terrific. He didn't quite get his shoulder squared to the basket, but he was able to get it up over the outstretched hand of the defender, and it was nothing but net. Korea with a 1-point lead.
Garcia. Oh, nice touch from the big man. Lee goes up against Coronado Gil, and Calipari is going to make a change. He's going to bring in number 14, Ronald Ramon.
Calipari excoriated Juan Coronado. Comes straight out. And Shunkin Lee comes out for a break. I don't think they can play without him on the floor for long, Jeff.
Well, they're certainly not happy with the defense of Coronado Gil because Harris is giving some instructions to the translator. Choi, jumper from him, a three-pointer, and the longer this game goes on and Korea stay in the game, the longer they believe and they become dangerous.
2-3 zone now from Korea.
Francisco Garcia, one shot and out. Quickly, Kim in transition, goes right at Horford and hands it off to O. Oh, and the follow, and Lee was there, the 18-year-old, but the Dominicans dodged a bullet. Josh Aslan has come in as well for the Dominicans for Jack Michael Martinez.
Lee was in the perfect spot. He was right there. Got the rebound. Nice tip in, but he just couldn't get it to fall.
Willis Baez comes out and gets a tongue lashing. wrestling from the right corner. What do you expect the big man to do right when he comes in? And the handoff is intercepted. Korea looking the better team right now, folks. And Calipari has been upset from the very first minute. And really, I'm starting to wonder if I need to scale back my expectations of this Dominican team, because right now they are not looking anywhere near the team I predicted.
Well, I'm with you on that, because I was anxious to see them play, especially as they've had such a good summer in Centro Basket, and they bring in some players with some real pedigree. So we were both enthusiastic about what they were going to bring to the tournament, but they've been listless so far, haven't they? This is a good substitution, Jeff. I really, really like Seung-Jun Lee. He's got a quick break, and he's going to come in for O. And of course, O's played well too for the.
He's just got to get a. O needs a blow. Fortuna, the lefty, good.
That's a beautiful jump shot by Fortuna.
But really, if you're Korea, you would settle for those jump shots coming from the Dominicans, because the advantage that they have is that opposing front line. And from the corner, Korea, nope. And this time, Francisco Garcia pulls in and gets the rebound, or flies in, gets the rebound, and draws the foul.
Jeff, that's good basketball from Sun Hyun Kim. So as his teammate was penetrating to the basket, he cut to the corner and made himself available. And then, of course, a little foul just to stop the transition basket. So it's not going to cost Korea anything. They're not in the penalty yet.
Garcia, the Korean defense is really bodying up out there. Wilford, Choi's got active hands as well. And Garcia takes the shot with a hand right in his face.
Two-man offense by the two NBA players, Horford and Garcia, working the same side of the floor, but they come up with nothing.
Final minute and a half of the first quarter. And Korea showing signs they're going to be in this game for a while. Kim banks it up and in.
Great pass by Seung-Jun Lee.
Well, knew that was a travel immediately. Al Horford. And Horford raises his hand to say, I need to come out, coach. So he comes out and catches a breather.
Keep that 2-point lead, a chance to build on it with this possession.
Well, I think Calipari was ready, and I think he's got the right strategy, but I don't think the message is getting through to his players about how they want.
There certainly were a lot of early touches inside, but they've gone away from that now and settling for the jump shots, as you mentioned. Speaking of jump shots, out the window.
And Yang banks it in. So Korea now by 4. Fortuna's hit 1J and iced 2. He's been their best player so far coming off the bench, giving them some much needed offense. Choi on the baseline, out to Yang, over to Lee for 3. And look at the active Korean, the 18-year-old, chases it down. Ball goes over to the Dominicans with 22.3 seconds to go here in the opening frame.
This will send the Dominicans to the line with a chance to get their nose in front. It may well be. No, they have led before, so.
One of the challenges of clearly for Calipari and Del Harris is they cannot communicate with some of the players, so they have to rely on the translator. And it's, it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, you wonder how quickly the message gets to the players, especially in crunch situations.
Well, the free throws make it a 1-point game. Korea will hold it for the last shot here of the first quarter. Kim puts up the long 3 and hits it. And quickly it's going to be from half court. And almost hits the front of the rim. But the Dominicans giving away a lot of three-pointers. I'm sure the strategy of Calipari is to get a hand in the face, even out on the perimeter.
Jeff, this is nothing less than the Koreans deserve. They've come out the brighter of the two teams. They've played hard. They've gotten good shots, haven't rushed anything. Strong performance from O, strong performance from Lee, and hey, all credit to them. 2-point lead.
Yeah, they've hit those three-pointers. The Dominicans are out rebounding them, but the Dominican Republic have also turned it over 4 times. And you know, it's Korea really not showing any signs of being tired from yesterday.
Not at all. We saw this yesterday. The Koreans generated a lot of turnovers with their active hands against the Russians, a lot of tips from behind. And again, they're coming out with that defensive intensity.
And they have 0 turnovers, which perhaps tells you a little bit about the intensity on the defensive end from the Dominicans.
You're right. Korea have to play as well as they possibly can to win this, and they have to stay close. They've done that, but you're right. The Dominicans have not imposed themselves defensively on the Koreans. We saw early on, the first half dozen possessions were touches inside. We saw the influence of Martinez and Baez hitting the glass. But on the other end, the Dominicans are stepping off the basketball, and they're not really imposing themselves.
Well, do you now have a consideration that maybe Korea have a chance to go out and win this game?
Hey, why not? Absolutely. You know, they're going to give you everything they've got. You wonder what gear the Dominican Republic are in right now. How many more gears can they get to?
Well, as well as Korea have played, they're still only leading by 2 points, but I would suggest it would be a colossal upset if they were to win against a team of NBA caliber talent.
Well, NBA caliber talent with 2 NBA players and a team that can say no to another NBA player.
Yep.
Whereas there aren't any players with NBA experience on Korea.
And also with the coach like Calipari that's clearly had success.
I don't think you can underestimate his influence. You know, he understands the game inside and out. He has, I would have thought, complete respect and attention of the players. And now it's a question of how much motivation can he instill in them to play harder.
There's the shooting percentages. And Josh Aslin has come into this team, and I don't think he's played for the Dominican Republic since 2005 when he played at the FIBA Americas Championship. Number 5, he played for Manresa in Spain this year.
Went to the University of Michigan.
Quick shot, and the Koreans just missed a wide open shot. So the Dominicans dodged a bullet there. Martinez gets in, draws the contact, and gets a couple of free throws.
I'm not sure if you saw this. I'm not sure if we'll see it on the replay, but Baez went in to set what was ostensibly a screen, but it was like a pulling guard. He just cleared out the Korean defender, which created space for Martinez to get his feet in the lane.
Martinez is big, but you also have to be impressed by the physique of Baez. He's like a sculpture, isn't he?
He is. Calipari was fairly effusive about the contribution that Martinez made in the Central Basket Championships. He was really impressed with the level of play he brought to that tournament.
So he was effusive in his praise?
Absolutely. That's a 10-cent word for you.
One of 2 for Jack Michael Martinez. And back to a 1-point game. O's come back into the contest for Korea as well, number 10. Both O and Lee on the floor at the same time here. Park has hands on his back by Ramon, and no foul called against the Dominicans.
There's a nice set from the Koreans, moving the ball, getting a reversal, using the guys off, cutting up back screens, and coming through on staggers.
Well, they've just taken out their best shooter so far in this game, Fortuna.
Fortuna played well up the bench, didn't he? Yeah.
So we'll see if Dominicans can shift it into that higher gear. They've been stuck in first gear for the most part. There's Martinez. Now a chance to run. Ramon. Korea gets back well. Pies into the lane. Oh, nice. Gets to the rack.
That's the move of the half so far. Very good individual move.
And this is Calipari liking his players going to the basket. Lee back outside. And the travel on Park.
Park disagrees, but the referee's got that right. He just dragged his feet on his jump shot.
Del Harris, longtime NBA coach with Milwaukee, the Lakers. Has a real appreciation for the international game. Asselin for three. Good.
Yeah, this is a good timeout from the South Korean coaching staff.
It's a 4-point game now, the Dominican Republic. Well, if you're Korea, you've done a great job up to this point, but just in a flash, you can see how quickly that great start can just be forgotten, because the Dominicans have the ability to put some points on the board. And I suppose if you're Korea, you're slightly frustrated because you don't expect Asselin to go out to hit the three-pointers, but that's part of his arsenal. He can do that.
As you remember, Jeff, the first play, the start of the half, the Koreans executed the play to perfection, got themselves a very good look. They're going to need that here. So, Coach Sang-Bum Lee threw him a play. I think it's an excellent timeout by him, isn't it? You've got to stem that momentum, and they'll see if they can come out and get themselves a good look at the basket.
Well, Asselin, 33 years of age, and he's shot a few three-pointers this year.
What a pass. What a finish by Sung-Jun Lee.
Absolutely. I was just looking at these stats to see what kind of success he had. He was 5 of 16 from three-point range, Asselin. So anyway, the Koreans come right out of the timeout and get a chance for a three-point play.
It was the penetration of Dong-Wook Kim, which created the opportunity for Lee. Let's see if he can finish it off here.
And he does indeed. Well, a lot of these teams have to grow as the tournament goes on, but it's a dangerous game to think that you're going to grow. You've got to win your games as well. And nice handoff inside to Jack Martinez. And the applause comes from the Dominican bench.
You're right, Jeff, but the Dominicans do not want to go into the game with Russia needing a win.
And the ball, good hands from the Dominicans, and it goes over to Korea.
You feel for Tae-Sul Kim because he found the space. He attacked the crease, and the rim was wide open. He just got stripped on the way to the basket.
Just like he often strips the
payback
opposing guards. Ramon over to Asselin. Now Martinez has the double. And boy, the Koreans just take it right away from him. And that's a unfortunate call, really, on Choi. I thought he did a good job of taking that ball away from Jack Michael Martinez.
We saw this yesterday, didn't we? When you get somebody in a trap, you want to make sure that you don't commit that foul. And you're right, Jeff. Maybe there wasn't, but as soon as you break the plane of your body, you at least give the referee an opportunity to make the call.
That's true. That's true. If it looks like a foul, he will call it.
Well, we can see the Koreans continue to double down in the low post. Dominican fans are quiet and pensive after a robust rendition of the national anthem.
Myers gets fouled. Nope. The foul called against the Dominicans. So that was
it a 3-second call, Jeff, or a
maybe
foul? We'll see in a second here, won't we?
Yeah, it was a 3 seconds. Well spotted. Kim has the ball on the floor, back outside.
O's got the mismatch here in the low post.
O goes straight at Ramon, and no stopping O that time. And it continues to be a tight game, and the Dominicans now have just been warned about not interfering with the ball. But a timeout has been called as well from the Dominican Republic.
That was a nice execution by the Koreans. They got O down in a low block, and an up screen set up the mismatch for him. And he's a nice talent, isn't he? He's shown some good touches inside, and he's fearless, goes to the basket well. I'm impressed. Jeff, he's a member of the Anyang, I hope I'm saying that right, basketball club in Korea. They won the domestic championship this year.
Yep, surprise winners.
We had a small and a 6'10", but this guy can shoot. Well, this is when
it's a good game. It's a really good game. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it more than the Dominican fans, that's for sure. A little bit nervous over there.
Well, they are. Sometimes it's hard when you play that first game to be ready.
So we've got the Dominican fans on our right, Jeff, and on our left we've got the Russian coaching staff, and there's nothing I would expect the Russians have seen yet that they'd be worried about from the Dominican Republic.
Not at all. But we saw it yesterday with the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. They started slowly, and the confidence of Angola just grew. I think a few more weapons for the Angola team to be able to see it through.
It's a good point that you made in the first quarter, and that is when there's a disparity in ability between teams, the stronger team wants to make sure that for lack of a better term, the weaker team doesn't have that belief.
Right.
And right now I think Korea believe that they can win this game.
Well, it's the bronze medal winners of last year's FIBA Americas Championship going up against the bronze medal winners of the FIBA Asia Championship. And so far, this is the best performance that we've seen out of the Asian teams here. Horford goes hard right at the basket and scores.
The teams are ranked relatively closely in the FIBA rankings. Dominican Republic 25th and South Korea 31st, so they're not a million miles away from each other.
Troy gets inside and has the shot altered, I think, by Horford. Ramon pulls up, and ball goes back to Korea.
One blue jersey, Martinez, to the offensive glass. I've heard a coach say that as a rule of thumb, you want to get at least 2 and often 3 jerseys to offensive glass with 2 recovering. And I certainly think Dominicans should commit to sending 3 bodies to the glass. No doubt about that.
Well, I think the way the shot was taken by the Dominican Republic that time, it was in transition. He basically beat his teammates up the floor. Kim's on the baseline. And out to Kim, his teammate. And Martinez beats O to the ball. And now we have Sosa, who's come into the contest for the Dominican Republic. Martinez. And he was pushed by O. And looked like Jack Michael Martinez may have committed a traveling violation, but O appears to have picked up his 3rd foul. So that's a blow for O in Korea.
Well, I agree with you, Jeff. I think in that case the travel caused the foul. So Martinez is the luckier of the 2 players.
Just bad pass. Korea punish. Oh, and it goes back to Lee. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. If you turn the ball over against Korea, they're going to punish you.
I was wondering what Tae-Sol Kim was going to do when he saw Horford going at him, and he said, you know what, I'm going to give it to the trailer. Great pass.
Well, and he goes right back. And Lee almost with a highlight reel play. The Korean bench wanting to foul, but good no call by the refs. Boy, this game just kind of exploded into life. Garcia took that three-pointer and missed it. But I think that the Dominicans would prefer the game to be played at this type of pace.
You would have thought so, yeah.
More open.
All credit to Garcia because he put his body on the line in transition and he put Seung-Jun Lee off.
Well, Garcia, another three. This time drills it.
Korea gambled there trying to get in the passing lane and left Garcia open for the wide open three.
Foul called against Al Horford. Holding.
You can see right now that Seung-Jun Lee is talking to the referee, saying, look, there must have been a block there. Give me a call.
The foul's on Garcia, excuse me.
Jeff, I'm really impressed with Seung-Jun Lee. He plays in a domestic league. I don't know if he has any aspirations to go play in Europe or a bigger club, but he's a talent.
He's tall. He's quite versatile, isn't he? Steps outside.
Yeah, he's athletic, and he's had a good 2 games so far. Now, this is where Korea have got to be impressive. They need to make free throws to keep themselves in the game.
Well, the first one goes down for Kim. Got 3 Kims in the Korean team.
I think Kim, Park, and Lee are the 3 most popular family names in Korea.
They are the Smith and Jones and Williams of the West, shall we say. Horford hands it, or passes it down low, back outside to Garcia, who quickly gets into Martinez, and Korea commit the foul. It's Kim. So good job that time, the Dominicans passing that ball around.
That's a great pass by Francisco Garcia, because he looked ever to his right, and a sleight of hand slipped it to Martinez, who rightly acknowledged the pass. When you get a great pass like that, certainly thank your teammates. And Martinez, you like to teach the big players, Jeff, when you're inside, keep those hands up to be ready to receive the pass from a guard.
Well, he's battled back from some injuries. Was Martinez the player that had the motorcycle accident?
I don't know that, Jeff. So can you check that out for
He
you?
was I know the injuries took away a lot of his athleticism. It's Jack Martinez, not Yak, but Jack. He's the captain of this Dominican team. And the free throws push that lead further for the Dominicans, back to 4 points. Nice idea, but the turnover, and now the Dominicans were their best. Nope, they're not. Lee hustled back and picked it off. Oh, and it goes back to him, and you reward the big man for the steal. Hello, Lee.
Well, Korea just will not go away.
And that was all down to, unfortunately, Sosa trying to be a little bit too flashy with his pass, and Lee alertly picked it off. And then Sosa puts up the 3 and misses, and he's going to be coming out of the game.
This could be adios to Sosa.
Kim hits the free throw line jumper and ties the game. So instead of the Dominican Republic going up by 6 points, Korea have battled back to tie it. Martinez behind the back pass, and it goes. And I'm guessing if it's anybody else other than Jack Michael Martinez, Calipari might have said, come on, let's don't go with the behind the back pass, because that was almost picked off.
I was surprised that Calipari gave him a hand. The only thing I can think is that he must be happy that Martinez tried to throw it inside, where the Dominicans should get a lot of joy.
Well, Calipari is over there talking to Sosa. It's a fine line, isn't it? I mean, you don't want to take away a player's confidence. Horford missed the free throw. You don't want to take away a player's confidence, but you also have to teach him the right way to do things. And Calipari is over there talking to Sosa. Sosa is 24 years of age.
Right now, Sosa is getting a bit of pine time.
Is back in. So it's a 1-point lead for the Dominican Republic against an impressive Korea today. Lee, and he's the man, feeling it. Puts up a three. Horford with a strong rebound. And he passes to Martinez, but it goes off the hands of the captain.
Yeah, Horford just a little bit rushed. The right idea to throw it down into the post, but he needed to just take a jump stop and get his balance. And you want to allow your post player to establish position as well. So just a little bit rushed.
Oh, good hustle from Korea, but Martinez there to get the rebound. Ramon Martinez and gets it to Baez. It's really a matter of execution right now and making the odd middle mistake by the Dominican Republic, and all credit to Korea. They've been able to take advantage of those mistakes.
You're right. The man who was exposed there was Jung Kyu Kim, who's a university student, plays university basketball in Korea, and you can see that without O, who's on the bench with 3 fouls, maybe a bit suspect defensively are the Koreans, but another very, very good timeout here from Sang-Bum Lee. And all credit to him because he's got his team close and as we approach halftime.
Well, how many times in this FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament have we seen, if you look at the points from turnovers, we've seen the big man hustle and make the play and then go right down to the other end and make the play offensively.
It's certainly a skill that big men want to put into their arsenal. It's almost like a competition. You want to make sure you beat your opposite number down the floor as a big man. Can you beat the opposing center or can you beat the opposing forward down the floor and give your team an advantage on the other end? I didn't learn that from Korea, by the way.
He's the big ass these days, isn't he?
I don't know what Kareem is up to these days, but what a player.
He was appointed a government post by U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Okay.
I know that he traveled the world.
What a gracious man and a great sportsman, wasn't he?
Yeah, there was only one Kareem.
Terrific. Sadly, he had played for the Lakers and I'm a Celtics fan, so he caused a lot of heartache when I was young in our household.
Yes, he did. With the sky hook. Fortuna. Almost. He does. Good hustle, Fortuna, but almost came up with the steal. Will force the turnover. Guarding the inbounds play. Do you get it in? Oh, that's a tough shot, but he makes it. What a shot from Yun. Ho Yun. Fortuna for 3. And the Dominican Republic go up for the rebound and commit the foul. So, you know, I was like, what in the world is Yun doing taking that shot? He knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, you know what I love, Jeff? You know, you and I are basketball junkies, and I absolutely love this because as a result of the foul, Ho Young-Gun was on the floor. He had 2 teammates sprint to him and help him up. Those little things, as we talked about yesterday, those little things just go a long way in chemistry, especially when you're the underdogs in the game.
Yeah, the Koreans are together. There's no question, which is one reason why they were playing so hard yesterday. They were playing for each other.
And we saw with Nigeria last night, an immensely talented team, but not a lot of understanding with them yet. It takes some time to blend that team chemistry and understanding.
Can the Dominicans put any daylight between themselves and this Korean team? So far, I think John Calipari is rather nervous over there on the bench. Dominican coach. Garcia almost traveled. Martinez goes in. And as Korea try to defend, and the Dominicans crash the boards. The Dominican Republic fans now arguing, shouting for the referees to call a technical on the Korean coach. That's the young 18-year-old that commits the foul.
I think the foul might have gone to number 12. Yeah, you're right, Jung-Hyun Lee, Jeff, 18 years old.
Martinez misses. We've yet to see the 16-year-old Carl Towns for the Dominican Republic. Could be that we're not going to see him.
The tournament for teenagers, you did a piece yesterday on Sergei Karasov.
Yep, Sergei Karasov of Russia, 8 years old, making his debut in an official competition. And Lee with the rebound. And really right now, the Dominicans look ripe to be beaten. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Good pass, and oh, and a chance for a three-point play. Oh,
let's see if we can see the
what is the
replay
call?
here. I think the referee thinks that Seung-Jun Lee came, Jeff, and tipped it in, so he's going to disallow the basket, and this will send a Korean player, Jung-Hyun Lee, to the free throw line.
They're saying that the ball wasn't going in, or he interfered with it before it went in.
Yeah, I'm not sure he did. Let's have a look now. So Lee's going to go up.
No, I think it looked like he did, but he did not. So it's unfortunate for Korea that they don't have a three-point play opportunity.
Great play by the Koreans, a backdoor cut. The pass was just a little bit too far ahead, wasn't it? But Kim had the presence of mind to drop it inside to Lee.
I think when in doubt, you shouldn't make that call, but obviously he thought he did, but he didn't have the luxury of the replay. But Korea have gone back in front of the Dominican Republic. And I really do think now this Dominican team is going to struggle to get one of those places. I mean, a play like that as well, they are asleep.
We saw that yesterday so many times against the Russians, didn't we?
They just come up and pick their pockets. Lee for three. Good! Well, he is the player of the game so far. Incredible performance from Lee. He's got 13 points.
I'm not sure if there are any scouts watching the game, but the young man might play himself into a new job.
Ramon and Lee with a strong rebound. Boy, Calipari needs to get to halftime and shout some instructions. He's going to get a timeout. He's going to burn a timeout here at the end of the first half, but Korea have a chance to extend the lead. Be their biggest game. Kim drives in with his left hand. And Lee, the 18-year-old, goes up for the follow and hangs on the rim. And Ramon, his pass, no good. But I think there's a combination of factors here. I mean, you've got the Koreans playing extremely hard. They've got the confidence. And the Dominican Republic call a timeout. You've also got this element that we talked about at the beginning of Korea's players. Korea have been a team in international competition for a long time, playing in Olympic Games or World Championships, FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments, and the Dominicans are sort of the new kids on the block.
Yeah, now, Jeff, I'm going to ask you another tough question. It's not a trivia question. It's a tough question. So as we approach halftime, who do you think is the happiest man in the building? Is it Sang-Wook Lee, the coach of the South Korean team, or is it David Blatt, the coach of the Russian team, who's over here on our left?
Yeah, without question. Well, every game is different, and the Dominican Republic can hopefully turn it up a notch from Calipari's standpoint.
Seung-Jun Lee making the three-point shot, and he played some collegiate basketball at Seattle Pacific University, and has had some NBA Summer League with the Lakers and Kings in the summer of 2005. So
he's on the radar.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wonder if there's a little bit of if the Dominican Republic were guilty of looking past this Korean team. Maybe not so much the coaching staff, but the players. And also it's that style of play, although really they hustled them. They've been quick. It's not so much the perimeter-oriented game. they're not really doing anything strange. They've just got the quick hands on defense. Anyway, the inbound the ball, 16 seconds on the shot clock. And quick pass inside to Al Horford, and that time as Korea get caught napping. Referee, I think, told Horford not to hang on the rim, but Horford didn't understand what the message was. Kim, baseline right at the end of the first quarter. And Korea, incredibly, the long shot hits the front of the rim. Korea have taken a 41-37 lead over the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic right now are in trouble.
They are, Jeff. Here's something to think about. So Russia yesterday, as we know, won easily against Korea. They won 91-56. And here Korea are now with 41 points at halftime against Dominican Republic.
And the frustration, as you look at the stats there, evident with Al Horford talking I believe it was it the Slovenian referee? Matej Boltauser, because he had something to say to him after his dunk. I think it was because he was hanging on the rim. Anyway, Lee has the 13 points, the 5 rebounds, and the 2 assists. He is leading the way for Korea. Really, it's almost as if the Dominican Republic have not woken up yet. And the question that I have is, will they wake up? 41-37 Korea at halftime against the Dominican Republic.
noche para los talentos de la Compañía Nacional de Circo. Nuestros invitados especiales, realzando el talento y cantando el gobierno de Caracas. La Pinotinto del básquetbol.
Well, who would have thunk it? Sung-Young Lee with 13 points, 5 rebounds, leading Korea in the first half against the Dominican Republic, and the FIBA Asia side leading it 41-37, blown out by Russia yesterday. They have come back fighting today against the Dominican Republic, a team that has a lot of hype, but so far has yet to deliver, and it's because of the great plays like this. Behind the back pass to Lee, goes in for the dunk, and then there was this little alley-oop after he had just come up with a steal at the other end. Liam Canny, Dominican Republic, their Olympic hopes are going to disappear quickly if they can't right this ship.
Well, you're exactly right, Jeff, and this is probably the most important passage of the game, the beginning of the third quarter. Will the Dominicans break out of their torpor and really impose themselves and get into a new gear, or will the Koreans continue to play with the confidence that's coursing through their veins and continue to have that belief that you spoke about in the first quarter?
I mean, there's in my eyes right now, the Koreans want this more than the Dominican Republic, and I think that's what it boils down to.
Well, David Blatt, who we chatted to at halftime, Jeff, played a terrific tribute to the Koreans, and he said, you know, they were a difficult team to play against, and when people said to me, this is David Blatt speaking, well, you won by 34, you must be joking. He said, no, these guys are tough opponents.
Well, it's great to see Korea coming out and battling back from a disappointing result yesterday. Francisco Garcia comes right out and drills a three-pointer, and looks over that Dominican bench as if to say, get me the rock. Kim comes right back at the Dominicans, and nobody steps in front to block the guard, who scores with the layup. Martinez.
Jeff, the Koreans were out of the change room very early. They wanted to get right back to proceedings.
Well, Garcia, another three, no good, but this time Martinez takes care of business. And you can see the effort is here from Calipari. I mean, he is coaching as hard as he can coach.
And he shouted at Garcia as if to say, what are you shooting a three for? Get the ball inside.
Well, this is where it has to happen. It has to happen defensively for the Dominicans. And Lee that time unsuccessful. Coronado Gil gets it inside the big Al Horford, and he goes up and banks it in.
And Calipari is calling the guard over to say, look, it hit 2 guards now to Calipari. He's really pleased that they threw it right down the gut to a post player.
Sokun Oh picks up his 4th foul as well, so that was a big sequence in the game as the Dominican Republic went back in front, and the referee right on the call, calling the foul on Oh, who's been impressive, but he's now going to the bench.
Yeah, this is a tough foul for them, and I think he needs to understand that you really need to be soft on D, because the 2-point basket hurts you less than picking up the 4th foul.
And the 3-point play.
Exactly right.
Oh, number 9. Korea with Kim. Dongkook Kim drills the 3-pointer. And the Koreans back in front. Baez on the baseline. Jack Martinez goes up for the rebound. Puts it up. Left hand, no good. Here comes Korea. Kim, over to Kim. And he hits it, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Foul's going to be on Francisco Garcia. He's going to come over and chat to the referee as if to say, what did I do? See Garcia's quizzical look, but nice fast break by the Koreans. Garcia has worked all 3 referees here in this passage of play. Jeff showing a bit of pressure up the floor.
It just seems to be a lackadaisical approach by the Dominicans, just the way they walk around. And they're only trailing by 4 points, but don't forget they were just up. And come right down and turn the ball over.
Horford thought he could pick out a cutter. Instead he picked out somebody in the first row.
Lee. Side, Martinez goes up. He almost threw an elbow that time, Martinez. Big man brings up the floor. Garcia, another three is open, but short. And Calipari is having to resist having to go at Garcia. And the three-pointer falls from number 9, who's all of a sudden catching fire, Dong Kook Kim. And that is the biggest lead of the game so far for Korea. They are up 52-45 against the Dominican Republic. The Dominicans are in disarray.
This is an excellent timeout from Calipari, and he's doing his best scarecrow impersonation as he looked at his players to say, what is going on here?
Well, you said it as well. If the three-pointers, if the Koreans can shoot the ball well, and Dong Kook Kim has come out and buried 2 three-pointers here at the start of the second half. And right now, they are shooting the ball well from three-point range, 6 of 12 for the game.
Yeah, you take that 50%, you take that all day.
No, you didn't. Cut it him. I'm standing there watching.
You know what's interesting?
That's right on top of him.
Korea.
Hey, let's go. We get back. We give up.
Republic have taken 16.
Which really is should not be their strength.
Not at all.
But Kim now has 11 points, and he's made all 3 of his threes. Be a national hero if this keeps up. But he is wide open. I mean, if you saw that last 3 right there, that was not a Dominican. There was not a Dominican Republic player within 15 feet of him. Dominicans get it hard up the floor, and they get a chance now for a three-point play with Horford. 1 to the line.
The Koreans did everything right on the press. The 2 guards at the front kept Coronado on the sideline. What you need then is somebody just at half court to come over and really stop the basketball. Coronado was able to get himself to the middle, and then you've got problems when you get the ball to the middle against the press.
So far, Al Horford 15 points, 4 rebounds, although he does have 4 turnovers. That's a game high. Kim for 3, Horford grabs another board, over to Coronado. And Coronado goes up with the left hand, but the foul before the shot. Dumps it. Tobias gets it back. And that's John Calipari basketball. Those are the instructions. Hey, listen. We've got the advantage on the inside. Let's take advantage. Lee bricks the 3. He's had an inauspicious start to the second half. Bounce pass to Martinez. And again, the Dominicans go inside. And another chance for a three-point play. And the question is, why did we see this in the first half?
She did his first 3 possessions or so, the ball inside, but they went away from that.
But it's amazing how many times we see players get away from what they do well. You know, and the Nigerians, for example, last night, getting away from not finding the teammate with the hot hand. Timeout, Korea. They want to talk about stopping this run of the Dominican Republic.
I read an interesting article years ago, Jeff, about what psychologists call slippage, where athletes forget the instructions that were given to them before they get into physical exercise, and then the concepts are gone. So as a coach, I'm a victim of slippage. I know it well. Of course, that presupposes the fact that the concepts get in there in the first place.
Well, that's true. Absolutely. You got to be able to get you guys to understand the plan. But with Calipari, are you surprised we haven't seen any full court pressure from the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, it's a good question because with their length and athleticism, you would have thought it suits them. But that would probably suit the Koreans to go up and down and play that style of game, play a game over 90 feet rather than a half-court game where they will struggle to compete on the board. So,
well, I was talking to one of the journalists here, and he felt like that's an area where the Dominicans could trouble the Russians. He doesn't think that their backcourt will be able to handle the pressure if they were to get after it.
And that's a good point because, again, when we were talking to David Blatt, I said, Coach, were you surprised that you had so many turnovers against the Koreans? He said, no, not at all, because they're active defensively, and we struggle sometimes looking after the basketball. So you might see the press.
Martinez misses the free throw. Free throws go begging again. 10 or 15 from the line for the Dominican Republic. Now Lee. I'm not so sure that Baez could have done anything else in that occasion. He didn't initiate the contact, but foul called against him.
Yeah, he walled up. He had good position. Lee did what you like as an offensive player. You go initiate the contact.
Yeah, you can't blame Lee for taking that approach.
Just a bit of research here on Sunjin Lee at halftime. He was born in the States. Adopted a Korean name later in life. Went to the University of Seattle Pacific. And now he's playing professional basketball.
He's having an interesting life. Question. Now he's in Venezuela. The free throw goes in. And Horford now up top. Clearly the Koreans want to try to keep that ball out of the low post. Horford gets it back to Baez, who goes in for the dunk. He's fouled, and the ball, somewhat fortuitously, rolls in.
This is much better from the Dominican Republic. So, if we look at the shot now, Jeff, the Dominicans have got 7 shots from inside the paint this quarter, which is exactly what you want to see there. And they're 6 for 7 from inside the paint.
Well, that was a big play, and that was an offensive set that tells you all you need to know about the Dominican approach right now. We are going to go in. It's up to you to stop us. Dong Young Kim this time misses, and Horford went up for the rebound and got knocked down by the small Korean guard. I think it was intentional, just hard play from the Korean. Kim.
So the Koreans are in the bonus here. Send the Dominicans to the free throw line.
He went down the cycle when Kim went in there. Well, this is we've seen some physical play, and the Koreans aren't backing down at all from the Dominican Republic.
Not at all. That's a national characteristic, though, of the Koreans. They are a determined and competitive people.
Horford up to 18 points. Game high.
Jeff, at what stage do you come back with O?
I don't think it's panic stations yet, but the concern I would have is he's going to have to put his body down low and end up picking that 5th foul. So. He backs up Baez, and the second time Lee initiates the contact and gets the foul. And again, I don't see that Baez can do anything else than stand there, what he's doing.
No, he's done everything right.
There we go. Look at him. Like you see, now he is kind of, he wasn't leading it through. That's a good call.
He took a step, didn't he? Baez took a step. I think it's extremely difficult to defend in the post. And if you're, it's a great expression for any post players listening, if you're patient in the post, when you get the basketball, you can make good things happen for you and your team.
Well, for the most part, Lee's been sensational. He goes to 17 points.
So it's an NBA lottery pick, Horford with 19, and then Lee with 17.
Maybe Horford could get a job with Atlanta. 3 seconds to call against the Dominican Republic.
This is an interesting call, Jeff, because the referees are not supposed to make that call until there's been an advantage gained. And as the shot was good, there wasn't an advantage on a rebound, so you might like to see the referee let the game flow continue to take place.
The Dominican bench getting moving. 18-year-old Lee with in foul trouble, comes in. Oh, missed the layup, but gets the ball back. It goes right back. And that was just unfortunate for him. And now Fortuna drives in over to Francisco Garcia from the corner. Short. Ball goes back to him. And Garcia drives in and scores with the layup. Calipari waves the team back down the floor because the Koreans are hustling.
Well, the 18-year-old couldn't believe his luck. He was all alone going to the basket, but he missed the little one inside.
Well, if the Dominican Republic can maintain this this level of intensity, maybe they'll eke out a victory.
They're certainly playing harder now in the third quarter than they have throughout much of the game.
They can't let it stop, and that's the problem. If you let it stop against Korea, you know they will not stop. Here it comes again. Lee, this time going up against Horford. No fear factor from Lee. He is just putting on one of the great performances of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament so far.
That is tough. As soon as the ball went to the post, Sangbum Lee, the coach of Korea, just said spread out and give him space, give Lee space to operate in the low blocks.
Now Horford goes in, and he drives, and the foul called against Korea.
Now Seungjun Lee has to be careful because, quite rightly so, the ball went into Horford, who's guarded by the 18-year-old, and so Seungjun Lee came over from a help side position. Now that's his fourth, and again he's got to be smarter than that.
Well, going deep to the bench now. Shim comes into the game from Lee, so that's a big play. And they're not allowing. It's too late. It's too late for Lee to exit the game.
Lee needs to get himself down under the basket to try and rebound here because there's nobody under the basket for Korea. If Horford's smart, we'll see now if they get it right. Still nobody in the low block spot for Korea.
He may have to stay out there if he misses his free throw.
Korea are in the wrong spots here now. Kim's gone through the lane.
That was not good.
Yeah. So this is the toughest patch now for Korea as O and Lee, their two inside interior players, are both on the bench.
They're going to have to go with Jong-Yu Kim and the young 18-year-old Lee. Well, not young 18-year-old, the 18-year-old. Coronado comes up with it. Garcia had it. Spin move. Horford, just the sheer athleticism that time of Al Horford prevented the turnover because that was a very tough pass to receive from Garcia in transition. The lead is 4. Tae-Sung Kim comes in and Dong-Young Kim comes out. Inside 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
The Dominicans can smell the blood in the water. They're extending their defense up the floor.
Alley-oop pass blocked, swatted away by Horford. But that just goes to show right there the attitude of Korea. I mean, they are trying to get alley-oop dunks against Al Horford. Bounce pass, ball goes off of Francisco Garcia. Dominican Republic much more active defensively right now.
9 seconds on the shot clock for Korea to get a good look.
Bias is going to come in, I think, for Garcia. I think Garcia maybe wasn't saying he wanted to come out for a breather, but it was misinterpreted. Anyway, the Korean miss, and Fortuna again pushes it up the floor, and it goes! Oh, the Dominicans had an alley-oop. They missed it. Coronado for three. Go! And they have really upped their game here in the third quarter. This is the Dominican Republic that we were waiting to see. And those fans that were singing that national anthem before the game are now up on their feet.
The Dominicans just came through a really rich run of form, haven't they? And Korea are on the ropes. But Sung Bum Lee has had 2 effective timeouts in the first half. He's gone to another timeout, which is the right thing, and he'll see if he can conjure up something to get them a good look as they break. Sadly, Korea have taken 2 timeouts here in the third quarter, and you like to keep those in your pocket, don't you, in a close game?
I think the biggest challenge for this Dominican Republic team is the intensity level and getting it where it needs to be at the start of the game. If it's not where it needs to be at the start of the game against Russia or against some of these other opponents, they're going to be in trouble.
You're right. So as you allude to, Dominican Republic will play Russia in the last game of the group tomorrow. This is Korea's second and final group game. They need to win to give themselves a chance to get to the quarterfinals.
So Fortuna has been impressive today. And so is that man. He's especially been impressive here in the second half now. He's got 22 points. Al Horford went to the break frustrated. He had 9 points, so he's been pouring him in here in the second half. And that was a great catch on the fast break and the bucket. They're going right at the Dominican Republic. Impressive, fearless approach from the Korean coach, Sang Byung Lee.
Yeah, that's a good set for the Koreans to get the ball on the inside, but draw the foul. Right now, Jeff, Korea have got 25 points sitting on the bench between Oh and Seung-Jun Lee. It's almost half their points.
Before the shot, the foul is called. The timeout was what they needed. They've come out. They've looked purposeful. They're taking it right to the Republic. Likes what has transpired since the timeout. Fortuna out of your picture over there in front of the Dominican bench. She's been lectured by John Calipari on defensive positioning.
I don't know who talks to Fortuna about his haircut, though. So good timeout from Korea. They got 2 good possessions and 2 points out of it.
There's Fortuna into the corner to Garcia for the 3. Nope. But Fortuna there for the putback, or Coronado rather. He's been big in the second half as well. He's a different player in the second half. Coronado. Martinez reaches in, knocks it out of bounds.
So Korea just need to stay close, Jeff, over the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and then come back in the fourth quarter with Lee and O.
Troy now up top, gets it in, has the ball, knocked away, and they're going to call a reach on Coronado. This is not what you want to do if you're the Dominican Republic, is allow Korea chances to score points at the free throw line and stop the clock.
You're right, Jeff, and you like the fact that the Dominicans are playing harder on defense. You like the pressure, the intensity, but they've got to play with discipline because you're exactly right. Korea now with a chance to score at the free throw line with some kind of role players when your 2 offensive weapons are on the bench.
These players, I think more than anything that impresses me about Korea is their mental toughness. I mean, they could be getting beat by 60 points they'll think that they can win the game.
Well, they certainly didn't quit yesterday against Russia, did they? They continued to play hard for the full 40 minutes of the game.
And this is what's dangerous for the Dominican Republic. They have to sustain the intensity, because if they don't, they'll get punished. Tyson Kim, starting number 14, Ronald Romo. Martinez comes away from the basket with Horford out. Maybe Dominicans aren't able to get the ball inside where they want it. Aslan steps up right off the bench and hits the jumper right at the free throw line. It's giving him that little, or rather that jump shot.
Yeah, that's isn't it great for a coach like Calipari when you go to the bench and get somebody who's a consistent performer and you know what you get from him, and Aslan's certainly done that.
Oh, and Aslan then got a hand on that pass, but the hustle from Korea, they get the ball back. Taysum Kim at the line, no good. And the ball into the hands of Fortuna. And he draws the block from number 11, Hee Yong Yang.
This is great D from Yang. It's a block, good call by the ref, but Yang does everything right. He stops the transition. In transition, you want to stop the basketball as high and far from the basket as you can. And, you know, Lee puts his body in the line, tries to take a charge. It's a bang-bang play. It's just good basketball. Turns out to be a good foul.
And the player with the beautiful stroke in the first half, yeah, breaks the free throw. It's a 7-point lead for the Dominican Republic. You see that Fortuna's been working hard here. Takes a deep breath. And this is the second, but Martinez goes up, gets the rebound, and Aslan again. And Aslan is really coming in and showing why they were really comfortable adding him to this team.
This is the largest lead the Dominicans have had, 9 points.
Korea Choi, no good. And that was just unnecessary from Ronald. Well, Suedo's coming in now. I think it's the first time that we've seen him in the game. Gerardo Suedo, number 7.
Yeah, Suedo declared for the draft, Jeff, this summer. He left SUNY Albany, declared for the draft, and was not selected. So no doubt he'll be looking for a club in the offseason.
Maybe he'll get a tryout. Taysum Kim. Boy, he's just doesn't stop, does he? And he makes one up to Martinez with the rebound. So moving around, comes up top, hands it off to Martinez. It's like a wing player swell. Ramon. Now Martinez back to Ramon for 3. Well short. And Kim races the other end for Korea.
This is a terrific drive. You know, we talked about this just a few seconds ago about how in transition you need to stop the basketball. Kim goes right to the rack, bisects the defenders, and a little reverse layup. And just, you know, Jeff, Korea will not go away.
No, they won't. Doesn't matter who's on the floor, they think they're going to win it.
And just to remind the viewers, they're without their starting point guard, Dongjun Yang, who injured himself. He's on the bench. He's dressed in a uniform. He'd love to get in there, but sadly he's got a cast on his right wrist. But what a great teammate, getting behind the fellas who are playing.
Well, I don't think the guard play has been a problem really for the Koreans today. I think they've acquitted themselves well. I think that really the Koreans, they've played a great game.
They have. You know, they played as well as they possibly could. Made very few mistakes. They played with courage. It's a point you keep iterating, which is great. They just have no fear. No matter who's on the floor, they're going to stick to what they think that they do well. Even when some of the reserve players are inside, they're still throwing the ball inside and attacking the basket.
And you were wondering how long they can go without Lee and without O, as you look at the three-point shooting percentage. And they've demonstrated that even with their reserve big man, I think Lee, the 18-year-old, is a huge prospect. I'm not sure that he's quite ready at this level, but you know, as he gets experience, he will be a big contributor for this Korean team without a question.
Well, Sangbum Lee, the coach of South Korea, has got this spot on. You know, he's got his 2 players with 4 fouls, and he's preserving them on the bench.
Well, the final 15 seconds here in the third quarter. Dominican's trying to extend that 6-point lead. Asselin, and a huge plus off the bench. Cross court to Fortuna with the left-hander. And Korea with the rebound. They got 2 seconds. 1. They launch it. It's up. It hits the backboard in the rim, but stays out. And the Dominican Republic have a 71-65 lead. It's not going to be a comfortable ride for them in this fourth quarter.
Not at all. I really love the beauty of the defense by Korea in that last possession, because they scrambled and rotated and got out to shooters and contested the 3-point shot at the end. And they are right in the game.
Well, the stats, the Dominican Republic with a considerable advantage on the boards. But that hasn't really necessarily translated to a huge lead. And they've got 11 turnovers, just 4 turnovers for Korea, which again says something about the Dominican Republic's inability to perhaps put pressure on them.
Just taking a quick look at the shot, Jeff, and the Dominicans got 11 shots in the paint that quarter, and they made 8 of them. So I would have thought it's going to be more of the same from them to start the fourth quarter. South Korea from beyond the arc are 2 for 9. So if they can shoot it better, then they've got every chance to get themselves in front in the last 10 minutes.
What do you think about the play of Jack Martinez?
Yeah, terrific. He's been consistent. He's been aggressive on both ends of the floor, on the offensive boards and defensively.
What can you say about his rebounding? That's quite phenomenal, isn't it?
Oh my heavens, he's got 19 rebounds.
Well, we said he was a 15-point, 15-rebound player per game, and he's right on that right now. In fact, he surpassed it.
He has 14 defensive rebounds, which may be more than his teammates combined collectively. Now Horford's got 7. So wow, terrific. And you need those guys, don't you? You need the guys who bring the hard hat and the lunch pail to the office every day.
In his case, the headband.
I don't know if he and Coronado go to the same hairdresser.
Well, Horford's in. Lee has come back into the contest, number 14. So the 2 premier players in the game so far, Lee and Horford, guarding each other. Kim, bounce pass, and it goes, and a terrific shot by the 18-year-old. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is ready for this level.
Korea need to find out, beg your pardon, Dominican Republic need to find out now who has got, it's Horford on Lee, and Horford needs to get himself down to the low blocks and just post up.
What?
Oh, that is craziness.
A little bit out of control there by Coronado. Long one. Tae-Sung Kim. And right back to a 1-point game.
Jeff, this is mind-boggling. You've got an NBA lottery pick who's being guarded by a guy with 4 fouls. Get him down in the low blocks and give him the basketball.
Garcia hits the 3. And you're right, as a coach, I'm sure you're frustrated just watching it. By that time, it comes off for the Dominican Republic. puts it up. Aslan goes up, battles for the board. Coronado for three, nope. And just kind of losing the plot, the Dominicans offensively. Still up by 5. Tae-Sung Kim inside the arc, nope, but the 18-year-old Lee gets the rebound, back outside to Kim. Big Jack Michael Martinez coming back into the game at the next opportunity for the Dominican Republic. And Troy fouled while shooting the three-pointer from Francisco Garcia.
You know what, Jeff? This is, in my recollection of this game, this is the only kind of forced shot the Koreans have taken. And if you cast your mind back to yesterday, remember how many times the Russians made things difficult for the Koreans and made them force shots and not get clean looks. I can't remember a previous incident like this in the game today. And it ends up being a foul. You know, Garcia is contesting the shot, which is great, but it's a foul.
Yep, we've seen a lot of fouls on that three-point line. Jin-Soo Choi makes the first. This is the second, so not complete free throw joy for Choi. Oh has yet to come back in for Korea. Maybe his coach thinks that he can't play with 4 fouls. And makes 2 out of 3.
It's nice to have an ace up your hole there. You can go too late in the game, right? The question then becomes, though, O's been on the bench so long.
Is he out of the flow?
Right.
Has O lost the flow?
Man, it's O needs a blow. Has O lost the flow?
Say it ain't so.
Terrific.
Jack Michael Martinez. Coronado gives it over to Martinez. Fades back, misses, but Coronado aggressive on the boards. He's picked up a few baskets in there where Korea haven't taken care of business.
He's played well in flashes, hasn't he, Coronado?
Kim. Dong-Yeon Kim goes baseline. Back to Tae-Sung Kim, and it goes inside to the 18-year-old.
What a great touch pass by Kim inside. He's like a magician, pulling the strings.
Terrific offensive set that time by Korea. Dominican Republic having to do everything they can to turn back this determined Korean team.
Jeff, I'm taking the Dominicans to task for not giving the ball to Horford inside, but he doesn't want it. He's not going up and showing his numbers on the blocks. He wants to come away from the basket and receive the ball there.
Now he's asking for it down low. Garcia over to Fortuna from the left corner. They seem content to shoot those jumpers. Horford gets the rebound. I love how Calipari's coaching. He was out there right next to the referee.
You took the words out of my mouth. He's coaching his socks off right now, isn't he?
And the miss. Now Korea with a chance to pull level. And Lee with the three. Good! No, it was a 2, but it's a 1-point game. And he has allowed the game to come to him in this fourth quarter since coming off the bench. He hasn't forced it. He was wide open that time. And Tae-Sung Kim is going to come out of the game.
O needs a blow. O's in the flow, and Lee with the 3.
Well, the Slovenian referee tells Kim he has to come back in before he's allowed to leave the floor. Watch this handoff. There's no doubt about it. Lee has 21 points. Horford has 22. So Horford with a game high. Coronado looks for space. Horford looking down low. Garcia. He finds Coronado. Back to Garcia from the left corner. No good. And Horford with a man's rebound, but the ball isn't collected, and Korea goes down and dunks it. How about that? Chan-hee Park with the hustle play, the dunk, and that says it all for Korea right there. They have taken the lead.
I thought Garcia was going to block that from behind, but the Korean player had other notions, didn't he?
Well, Horford follows the shot. I mean, they have got to ride big broad shoulders of Al Horford.
You're exactly right, Jeff, but Horford's got to do his bit. He needs to get down in those low blocks. He's just hanging out around the three-point line. Even that last rebound he got, he came from deep to get it.
Look at how they whip the ball around, looking for the open man. It's Lee again. And he tried to bank it. Horford with the rebound. We've got a thrilling conclusion, and it's not something that we expected before tip-off. Let me tell you, folks, the Koreans are for real. They want to survive and advance. They're giving themselves a chance right now. Al Horford up against trying to post up the 18-year-old, draws the contact, no call, but makes the soft little jump hook. That is an NBA player right there from Al Horford.
Yeah, Dominicans need to milk that now, Jeff, for the next couple possessions.
Horford now with 26 points and 11 rebounds. Dong Young Kim. Oh, his pass right into the hands of Coronado. It's a 2-on-1 into the hands of Fortuna. He missed it, but Coronado, just as he's done all day, is there for the putback, and it's back to a 5-point game. One of the rare mistakes. I don't think. How many turnovers did Korea have? I mean, we haven't seen that very often. 5 turnovers for them.
I'd like to see Sang-Bum Lee be more patient here and not go to the timeout at this point of the game.
Well, John Calipari coaching his socks off right now. Look at the dunk on that play from Korea. And that was Chan-Hee Park, who just made a great play at midcourt and then took advantage.
Yeah, Jeff, as I was mentioning, it's there's 3 minutes and 53 seconds left. That's an eternity in a close basketball game. And to some extent, you've got to trust your players. Now, Lee has had 2 very, very good timeouts this half, but he's just used his last one, and you like to have one in your pocket for late game situations.
Well, we'll see if that comes home to roost. Mark, or Kim. Kim with a corner shot and hits it. And it's a 2-point game. Excuse me, I was wrong. It was Sun Young Kim with the dunk before. Number 5 for Korea. Anyway, Coronado over to Al Horford. And this is what they simply must do. And Horford with a chance for a 3-point play, and he is having himself quite a nice game. He has a chance to go to 29 points.
Yeah, he did well there, and credit to Dominican Republic because the guards were patient. They moved it a few times. They allowed Horford to get himself down in the low post, and then he's tough when he gets it inside, isn't he?
He's still not going to see Seung Oh. Seeing the youngster come in, Jong-Ki Kim, number 15, trying to box out Big Jack Michael Martinez. And Martinez gets the rebound, and you know, you look at the size and ability, you know, the size between Martinez and Kim, and you can understand why Martinez was able to collect his, what was that, his 21st rebound.
Jeff, the assistant coaches from Korea are going down to the bench right now and talking to O. I don't know if he's got an injury or he's not prepared to go in because he's got his towel on his back still. And you're right, it's surprising he's not in the game.
Well, he did carry, I think, a pretty bad foot injury or an ankle injury into this tournament. But that was, you could see that happening. I mean, Martinez went in, doesn't convert, but yet another chance for a three-point play. And that was a killer trip down the floor. 6 points scored by the Dominicans. With those offensive rebounds.
All inside.
Dong Young Kim outside. Park over to Lee. And Martinez with the 22nd rebound. And fouled by Kim coming over the back with 2:41. And really what we've seen from the Dominican Republic now here in the last minute has been, we're going to shove this ball down your throat. You're not going to stop us.
Yeah, but it's taken this long to get there, hasn't it? Now you've given them the kiss of death, Jeff. What do you bet they come back here and try and throw up a three-point shot?
Well, maybe they'll try to use some time off the shot clock. We'll go to Horford.
Spacing's all wrong. Martinez and Horford in the same area.
Out to Garcia. Garcia gets it, dumps it again, and they continue to go down. They continue to get the offensive rebounds, and Martinez picks up rebound number 23. Rebound number 23 for Big Jack Michael Martinez. That was a good day at the office. Haven't registered that rebound yet. He makes the free throw. One thing he hasn't done well is shoot free throws today, but another point on the board that time for the Dominicans. Now 4 of 9 at the line. This is it, but another offensive rebound, this time by Baez.
Martinez and Horford with double-doubles respectively.
Coronado for 3. Well. And Calipari looks at Coronado and says, why didn't you dump it down low? So they can get away from it very easily. 89-80. Martinez, another rebound. 25 rebounds for Jack Michael Martinez. Shot clock. Martinez has to put it up, and the shot's blocked by Lee. And Kim races to the other end and makes the layup, so it's a 7-point game with 1:20 to go.
Jack Martinez needs to give Horford space in the low post, Jeff. They seem to be occupying the same area.
Well, they want to have the ball in the hands of the good free throw shooter right now because you know Korea's going to steal or foul. Although, unfortunate that time not to come away with the pick. Lee, the coach, is cajoling his team or urging them on. Free throws by Horford take it back to a 9-point game. Now the clock is definitely the enemy for Korea. And Lee keeps it alive, but comes over the back.
That's some effort by the 18-year-old. He comes over the back of Jack Martinez and moved him.
He's fouled out with that, but I have to go back and say I think he really is He's looked very good here in the second half.
He finished with 5 points and 5 fouls, but what a great experience for his development. I can only imagine that O is not prepared to play, Jeff. I don't see any, he's got his shoes on. I don't see any ice on his ankles, but I don't think we'll see him now in the last minute.
Martinez can't buy a free throw right now. He's 4 of 11, and it probably hasn't gone unnoticed by Mr. Blatt, but nor has the, well, now they're saying he has 24 rebounds. He did momentarily have 25. So 14 points, 15 points, and 24 rebounds. Not a bad day's work.
So we need a quick score.
Choi from the corner, and he gets some joy from that three-pointer. 92-85. It's not over yet. Dominicans have to close this game out.
They need to foul here, Jeff.
Bias. Oh, and it looked like that was exactly what the Korean Crafty Kim was trying to do, was to draw a charge. And Bias picks up his 5th foul.
That is only the Dominican 2nd foul of the quarter, so no free throws for Korea.
He got the foul for raising his elbow, and Martinez fouled by Choi. Martinez knows it's a physical game. He's not going to get upset, especially with his team on top. Now he's got the 15 points, 25 rebounds. So if he'd made his free throws, he would be, if he'd made all 7 of those, if he'd not had those 7 misses, he'd have 22 points and 25 rebounds.
So I'm going to give you another tough question, Jeff. Gee, keep throwing tough questions at you. Who's your man of the match now? If the Dominican Republic go on to win this, is it Horford or Jack Michael Martinez?
Well, I think it's Horford, because in crunch time, he was the guy that really kind of delivered the knockout. But you could very easily give it to Martinez. Garcia collects the ball, back inside. And, you know, that has really been the problem here in the last few minutes, is Korea's inability to box out on those free throws. Coronado drives in, and Coronado's done a very good job as well. He's made some shots.
He's played very well indeed. Well, the Dominican Republic certainly know they've been in the basketball game this morning.
And really, Korea almost deserved better than to lose it by 10 points. But I'll tell you what, I think the Dominican Republic, they've survived. That's the best way to put it. And we'll see if they can grow from this. The Dominican fans that have shown up here applauding their team, they've escaped. And that's the best way to put it, with a 95-85 win over Korea. And now, having seen the Dominicans come back, do you give them a chance against Russia?
Of course I do. I think it's a sign of a good team if you can play poorly and still get a win. And so, yeah, I think it'll be an interesting competition tomorrow between the Russians and the Dominicans. I think the Russians will probably be the stronger of the two, but that's why you play the game. Jeff, I just thought it was a thoroughly enjoyable game of basketball for our first game on day 2.
It really was, Liam. And that rebounding differential was really quite crucial. 58-28. Jack Michael Martinez ending up with the 25 rebounds, the 16 points. Al Horford with the 30 points, 12 rebounds. The Dominican Republic will now go play Russia for supremacy in the group. The Koreans no longer have a chance to advance to the Olympics. And I'll let you go through the final scores here for this great crowd. We've got more action coming your way. Take it away, Liam.
So we'll look at the leaders in the respective categories. Al Horford with 30 points, and Seung-Jun Lee, who had a terrific performance for the Republic of South Korea with 21 points. He didn't have a double-double. He had single digits for rebounds. But he has had a good tournament for himself. And it's Kim with 14 points. Look at that, 4 players for double digits, with double digits for the South Koreans. And they have been a joy to watch. Here's the rebounding battle. Look at that. It's Martinez with 25. And the Dominican Republic were plus 30. And so I don't speak much Korean. I know Anyong is an informal way to say both hello and goodbye. And so to the Koreans, it's Anyong from Caracas 2012 Olympic qualifying tournament.